Most welcome to Tanks Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's items only, the investment top today will be Solana, Cardano, and XRP respectively. So first about the first one that I'm going to go through will be Solana. So today's as I'm recording as of 10:04 a.m. on Eastern time, currently traded at $93.79, up about 14% so far. You can see that we are attempting to break the $100 mark. The all-time high today was $95.02. And this is a very typical occurrence, right? Whenever we encounter or about to face the next flat level, right? The $100 mark, the $50 mark, the $40 mark, the flat numbers, right? Especially hitting a three-digit mark is a pretty substantial leap up, right? So people have been just putting some sell orders around the level, expecting that to happen, and that's exactly what's going on right now, reversing back down a little bit to dip back to the $93.55 level, right? So with this surge, you could see that there has been a small green candle and then a large green candle. So I would say with respect to the volume that you see here, this is mainly driven by a whale that has bought in a relatively sizable amount, right? And you could see that subsequent to that, you have a collections of investors on the public side mostly chasing into the equation, which subsequently drives some surge, right? And so right now, this is a relatively dangerous territory, knowing the fact that with respect to MACD is extremely stretched up. RSI is extremely overbought. We're basically at the moon right now. We basically have to contemplate on, are we going to be able to sustain the pressure that we've had sustained so far, right? And I think, we are slowly hitting close to the paradigm. I wouldn't be surprised if we keep searching another one, but and I think that will be quite it, right? However, if this was like we were at a much lower level, like let's say we are surging until 63 or $62 level, we still have some room to run up to, right? But knowing the fact that we're at 95 or 93 and the $100 mark is typically very difficult to break, I think we are going to encounter a lot of resistance levels from there. So the likelihood of actually selling back down would be more likely, right? So what I actually see happening going forward is that we hit the paradigm and we're going to sell down back to somewhere around like the 75 or like the $65 mark. And then we will scoop back up. And that will be, called something called a dead cat bounce, which, as you know, we are in the, new paradigm, the euphoria stage. And we typically have that, some investors that believe that we're going to keep leaping up and away, disregarding obviously the technical analysis, or are they not familiar with the technical analysis, right? So I would weigh off, to buy now. If you bought in earlier when we were at the lower stage, when we are still percolating, congratulations to you. You should definitely take some profit. But if you believe in Solana long term wise, right, you believe that it's going to reach much higher than the level that we are right now, I wouldn't mind taking, keeping like 60% and you like sell 40% of your holdings and buy the dip later on when it comes back down, right? But for me, I would buy at the yellow levels because frankly, I just missed the bus, right? I'm not really a coverage for every single coin. I just buy the ones that I know the best, right? So with respect to Cardano, the next one, I think is this is just we see this two green candles matched up. It seems like this is a whale manipulation, definitely. Like, this is very coincidental how there are two green candles with respect to the volume, the size of it as well is very comparable. It seems like we are just doing a zigzag, and I think this is a dead cat bounce. We hit the new paradigm close to being the $3 mark, the $2.97, comparable to Solana, right? Try to hit the $100 mark, but whenever we break to another level, like 297, just think of this as like close to being the next level of 300, technically, right? In this, obviously not the same digits, but like in a comparable type of mentality that investors typically have. So I think the best case scenario for us to be doing right now would be comparable to like Ethereum, just trading on a sideways fashion. But I think we are in a I think this is very prominent, and I think the like of actually selling back down to come back to the $1.88 first would be likely, knowing the fact that we have such a huge gap. But the best case scenario, right, in the best world scenario, if you may, would be just trading on a sideways fashion, continue to be in the complacency stage, and you could swing trade from there. But eventually you have to come back down because MACD is still overbought. RSI is still over the equator line, so it's still relatively dangerous at the moment. So for me, I would still buy at the yellow level, right? But I think we have a propensity to actually come back down to the first level 187 and then come back up a little bit because of the dead cat bounce, just to like bull trap the people that are investors that are not aware of the technicals. That's what the whales want you to do, right? Basically, squeeze you for one last time before they dump you, right? So, which is the reason why I'm doing this video, to keep you guys, give you guys that precaution, right? XRP is we're in the complacency stage. Obviously, you can tell totally. But I wouldn't be surprised if we actually surge up again, because it seems like we're forming some sort of a downward wedge. And it seems like we have had some consolidation zones prior. We had the one at 94, we had one at 75, which are flat numbers to be honest with you. And then we had a couple ones down here. On top of the fact that we have searched up before, so this is not a completely new level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually search up for XRP again. So it's a different story for XRP, right? I don't think this is a new paradigm because we have tested much higher levels before, right? So I think we might keep searching up for XRP, and I think it looks good for RSI. We are more of a normalized level, and MACD just recently crossed, so I wouldn't be surprised if we sell down a little bit more, which will match with the downward wedge pattern that we're talking about. And when you see a downward wedge, this is basically the reverse of what you're seeing with Ethereum. You'll see a downward triangle, right? Basically, if you just imagine just like forming a triangle, an apex somewhere around here, right? And then you close the lines together. And then eventually, once you hit, I think about $1, we should be leaping up, or we could just be staying around the $1.15 level. So you have to be mindful of, right? So I think XRP is leaning more of a bullish signal per the technicals that we see in front of us right now. So just to like recap all the numbers, right? Again, this is just me being risk averse. So don't listen to me if you are not as conservative as I am, obviously. And these are respective levels for Cardano: $1.20, $14, $5. $5 I don't really count because like this is really more of a bottom. Solana 38, 33, 27. Ripple XRP's 88, 69, 57. And I think XRP is the one that is the most bullish. So if you're buying now, during this phase, I think that could be a good idea. But ultimately, Cardano and Solana are still running really hot in comparisons to XRP, right? So that's something to be mindful of, right? So this is it on the technicals. I wasn't going to be doing this one, but I feel like there are people waiting on me, so I want to be taking another maybe 25 to 30 minutes of my time just to do one for you guys. Hopefully, you guys, this is helpful, and have a great rest of the Saturday and great rest of the weekend as well. And stay tuned for the next coming up. Take care. Bye.